When I saw that Love is Blind was releasing 3 more episodes called After the Altar, like most people, I think my first reaction was, what are Cole and Zanab gonna be like? Because if you've watched the series, which you probably should on my channel, you'll see that it was a very tumultuous relationship between a guy who was initially cocky and maybe a little egotistical, and a girl who seemed like she was fine, but then turned out to be that kind of person. We watched the series as this man got whittled down from someone who is happy and had golden retriever energy to a person who seemed like he aged 20 years in the last 2 weeks. It was sad to watch, and at the reunion, he basically got bullied by the mean girl clique that had been coming up in Love is Blind. And I thought, after all this time, the people from Love is Blind would look at themselves and look at the comments from many people and be like, yeah, we messed up. That doesn't seem to be the case in today's episode. We're going to be taking a look at those 3 episodes after Love is Blind called After the Altar and see what Zanab and Cole are up to. Specifically, I'll be focusing on them. There are everyone else in the series, and I already did one on Colleen and Matt, so that's another thing maybe you'd like to watch. But this is going to specifically focus on the relationship between those two. It's something that, like, I sympathize with. I think sometimes even you can feel like you empathize with it, but it's like, you don't want to be in that position. I hate to say it, but like, some relationships equal people at fault. This one heavily favored in Zanab's corner. Today, we're going to take a look at someone who constantly plays the victim and someone who actually is the victim. And I'll try and break down the differences. So it's going to be part funny, part pseudo-psychology. I'm pseudo-psychology Leo. You owe me $6,000 by the end of the session, just saying. But if you choose to stay, then do subscribe. Get a friend too as well. We're almost on our way to 600,000 big babies. And also follow me at sixteenleo_ on my Instagram. That way you can give me ideas for the next video. Apparently I break down relationships on this channel. I don't... least qualified person.
Love can be blind, but it was not for me.
No, actually, love was blind for you, Cole. Or maybe you were just blind because you didn't see this crazy lady who was ready to throw you under the bus. And I'm sorry, bro. That was the hardest moment that I've watched in a long time. Like, listening to her go to the altar and then, like, bring him down and then get everyone to go with her. That was mean. Ugh. So, yeah, sorry, quick recap. Cole and Zanab were on Love is Blind. They got together. Cole was this initially cocky dude who said some stuff. He even made a couple mistakes, like saying other people were hotter. And then he owned up to his mistakes, but not just to say sorry. He really saw the error in his ways and proceeded to continue apologizing and becoming a better person. When you're in a relationship, you're not looking for someone to not make mistakes. You're looking for someone who can own up to their mistakes and constantly try and be someone who learns. Because if you really love someone, it's not that you expect them to be there, it's that you want to grow with them and then reach that point with them. That's part of it. It's the journey. And Zanab did not like that. She didn't want the journey. She wanted him to be there. And she did not really do any growing herself. She started off like one of them original Pikachu, what do you call them? Pokemon people, Bulbasaur, and then she ended up being the exact same thing. She's a Squirtle. Okay. But anyway, after the altar, for the first time in a long time, all the girls are meeting, and I'm really hoping it's not going to be that mean girl clique type thing that it was, and hopefully they won't make fun or like talk shit about like Cole and the other contestants. But let's see.
You're gonna get the label and dance for us? A little Selena. First class flights.
Yep, so that's Raven. She went and did some exorcist type things before walking in. It's really cool that you could go on Love is Blind and think you're like such a big, I'm going into a bar, guys. Good for you, I guess.
There is a man in my life. His name is Paul.
So Zanab comes down, she sits down, and she instantly, she's like, there is a man in my life. And everyone is taken back. They're like, even me, I was like, unlucky son of a gun. But then she has a twist.
Ew, who's Paul?
Paul is my therapist.
Oh, okay. Also
And everyone's like, oh, that makes complete sense. That's the only kind of person you needed. I mean, all jokes aside, shout outs to Zanab for seeking help. Sure. I mean, I think everybody should get a therapist. You should talk to someone about your problems. Hopefully, it'll identify the issues that you have and work through and then become a better person. It's never a bad thing. But at the same time, yeah, you probably needed one. I mean, you know, it's you.
And he's totally changing my life. So, talking to him, losing my dad at 13.
Oh, okay. So, Zanab lost both her parents young. The first time she said it, I was really like, oh. Second time, I was like, oh. Third time, I was like, yeah, oh. Fourth time, I was like, By the sixth, seventh time, I'm like, I do know the story. Like, it is very sad. I guess we're going down this route again.
It just felt like I've never had the male perspective on something. And I also just wanted to know if it was me. I wanted a male to call me out, be like, hey, it's you.
Hey, it's you. If you wanted a male perspective, you should have asked some male friends. See, the thing is, you can only really ever change if you have the capacity to admit that you're wrong, and stubborn people don't often do this. They will die by their laurels. It'll be like, yeah, but I was doing this. Yeah, but firstly, you have to admit that maybe there's no actual excuse. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Once you can admit that, then you can probably make steps to being like, well, how can I be less stupid? Especially if I love this person. How can I not do this to them again? I don't want to see this happen to them again. How can I try and be a little better next time? You don't have to make the leaps and bounds to go from here to there. As long as you're taking steps, you're making progress.
I mean, I stand by my decision, and I stand by everything I said.
Therapist Paul is gonna be like, fuck, have we learned nothing? Therapist Paul is probably the happiest man of all time because he's like, you are going to be a client for life if you don't actually learn anything. I'm just gonna repeat this information and you're gonna go out and throw it away. She's standing by what she said. It's completely fine to have not married Cole. Absolutely. The way that you did it was the problem. That's the issue. Even having those feelings, valid. But doing that in a public setting, ridiculing this man, then walking away with your friends while they clapped, I don't know if that was the way to do it.
But it was a lot to unpack afterwards.
My current relationship status is extremely single.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything in particular. Like, some people are single because they're looking for the exact thing, and that's fine. But Zanab's been looking. The first time we met her, she was like talking about how she was what was it, an air hostess, and she was like wondering why people didn't hit her up in midair, as if that was a thing to do, or when she was at the gym, as if, that would fly or go down well if someone hit on you at the gym. Guys are trying to be respectful.
I don't get hit on the plane. Who's gonna hit on me when I'm sweaty at the gym, right? But
Years later, she's single, extremely single, and her DMs are open.
the DMs are open. Slide on through.
Okay then. Okay, if you say so. Hello. You said the DMs were open in your latest Love is Blind video. Just how open are they? Oh wait, I'm trying to do flirt face. Alright, well. Yeah. Whoops. There's a decision I'm going to be regretting for the rest of my life.
Done a lot of work on myself to where I'm in the best possible place to get into something healthy with someone. What's it like having a husband? I got really close, but I didn't really get one.
So, I guess Zanab's like, trying to find her true love still, which I'm sure, valid. But then she also says things like, I got really close to getting married, but I didn't. I almost got him. It's kind of the opposite. You were very much the one who was going to say no. Cole was going to say yes. He definitely was. It's kind of weird, It's like a fisherman catching a fish, and the fish is like, kind of almost, went into the water, but I guess I decided to get caught today. It's not really how, that's not the perspective that we're going with. But she asked Alexa how marriage is, which, is the worst person to ask.
You dodged a fucking bullet with that. Okay.
Yes, she did.
There we go. There's mean girl Alexa. You dodged the fucking bullet with that, okay? Cole is like nothing but trouble. That's why you're extremely single and have a therapist, and he's going and adventuring with the world and everybody else. I'll break it down a little more just now to just show you like the little nuances that might reflect their life paths, but Alexa's really not the person you want to be taking advice from.
This is the sausage that I will enjoy for the day. that is the sausage that will not cause you emotional trauma.
So then Nancy out of nowhere says, "This is the only sausage I'm eating today," insinuating that she doesn't slurp on that. Ding dongs. Sorry. And Zanab is like, at least that sausage won't cause you emotional trauma.
Here you are, sir.
Could you try and not play the victim? Could you try and maybe, venture out into your acting range and pull out some other roles from your bag, perhaps? Maybe comedian for once. Is it possible to further remove yourself from a situation of blame and be like, well, I'm going to have a relationship and then also feel like the one who's been traumatized from it, but still go through with the relationship? At what point do you take accountability and be like, well, this is my fault? Is there no point at all? You're just going to be like, well, that's his dick and I'm going to emotionally ruin myself on it.
Why are we still here?
I got to pay Paul. I got to shake his hand.
Hey, you guys, I'm having a party.
Raven is really happy about the party. Alexa says that she's having a party, and if you look at Raven, she's like, woo! Yeah! She probably hadn't been to a party in a while. She's like thanking the Lord and stuff for it. Yeah, Alexa's having a party, and then this is how you know none of these girls are actually friends or keep up with each other. They're like, what's it for? And she's like, my birthday. But you all forgot, which is why you're asking what it's for. Bitch.
For what?
My birthday.
Love it.
It's gonna be cocktail extraordinary.
Love it.
Huge vibe. Huge. I want everything very classy.
Yeah, so Alexa's like, we're having a fat ass party. It's gonna be huge. So many. She sounded like Donald Trump for us. Huge. Everyone from Love Is Blind is gonna be there, including Cole. And Zanab and Cole haven't talked since the altar, and it's been a year.
Cole's gonna be there. We felt like everyone should be invited, and if he comes, he comes.
That was always expected.
I just need you in a dress that shows off your ass and your
Don't worry.
boobies.
So again, I feel like the toxicity here is worth exploring. Like, if someone is your ex and things, the best thing you can do instead of like having this weird toxicity thing of, I'm gonna look really hot and get him to want me just so that I can tell him that he could never have me. Instead of doing that, maybe do well for yourself. And that's not to say that, you can't look good, but it's to do it for yourself. For all the talk that they're talking about looking good, why don't you do it for maybe the person that is in the room who's looking at you thinking, wow, maybe we could be something. Instead of like, I'm gonna look so good for the person that I used to love and now don't. It seems like a weird retaliation that goes nowhere. It's temporary satisfaction and monumental loss later on. Like, it seems like such a weird thing to do. I feel like being on good terms or just being cordial with someone's important. It just doesn't bode the right way that this is like how you're going about it.
Promise I will not throw a drink.
For your birthday.
I hired entertainment.
Cole.
The cackles of witches everywhere. The Salem witch trials were like, damn, we should have got these people too. Could you be more mean girl-like to talk about someone behind their back in a group setting that probably doesn't deserve it? I don't know, man. I don't know about talking behind people's backs. What is that ever going to achieve for anyone else? Like, how does that make your life any better? It's just bringing someone down doesn't bring you up. You know what I mean?
It's a clown. He's actually doing red flags, so.
Yep. They then say he's a clown and then he's doing red flags because he's very, very much a red flag person from all the stuff that he's done to insinuate and cause things. He's a horrible human being that can't do anything right. And that is the narrative that we're going to have, because if the narrative is he's a great person or a person who learned and changed, but I'm the bad one, nobody's going to accept that. Zanab needs to have better friends. That's the issue. If she has friends calling her out, like she said, she needed a guy or someone to just be like, I need to call you out. If she actually had goals who were like, yo, you're doing this wrong, you need to actually back up and appreciate this or work on it, then maybe things would be different. She wants to find the perfect love, but you're only going to get so far by being the exact same person you are and not willing to change. There's huge issues there.
I'm getting a mimosa.
Yeah.
So for the first time, we meet Cole, and he is not with anyone else aside from his friends. And I think this scene, juxtaposed with the girls all dressed up in like some fancy restaurant, just shows Cole's comfortability. He's in a t-shirt, he's with his good friends. You can see that people are genuinely with him for a reason. Like, he's got people that stick with him because he's obviously offering them something to stick around with him. He doesn't have to pretend to be anything he's not. And that's the sign of someone who's, not toxic.
Life has been good. I've been busy. I wanted to just get my mind off of things. I haven't met anyone that I want to be serious with again.
So Cole tells the audience that he's casually dating, but more so just focusing on work. And from what it looks like, it just seems like he's still getting his bearings right and trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do or where exactly he can go from here.
I have been thinking that I want to move. I just want to be somewhere that I can be adventurous.
You've always wanted someone that's just kind, and then you realize the person's not very kind at the end of the day.
So Cole says that he just wants to travel, and I feel like this is the mark of like a man who's like, after you've had your heart absolutely destroyed, you seek things in life. You're like, man, I just want to have experiences that'll mend me. Then his friends talk about him, and they're like, you just want someone who's kind. And that's exactly, he's got golden retriever energy. All he needs is someone who's good to him. Just feeds him, gives him a pat on the head, positive affirmation, hugs him. Just like, you're good. I love you. Yeah, just that. And he'll be fine. And they're absolutely right. But I thought it's very interesting to note, they're also quite intent on not saying Zanab's name. They just call her she. They say that, she wasn't kind, and they don't make jokes about her. They're not talking about her in a way that's like being mean or something. It's just in order to like work out what the situation was and to work out how Cole's gonna move forward. They were like, this person wasn't for you. What you need is this, as opposed to he's a clown, he's this, that. It actually serves a purpose.
Do y'all know that I have not spoken to Zay? We had decided that we were gonna keep dating. She totally lied to me. She honestly played me.
Well, here's some information that we didn't hear in any of the other videos. Zanab said even if she said no, they'd continue dating. Obviously, you don't know how to take things. It's between two people and how they perceive things to be. But I would assume he went to the wedding thinking even if that was to happen, I'd at least have a conversation with you. But to not have any conversations at all, wow. Yeah, man, that's tough.
We had a serious connection. I think that I gave love a hard run with Zanab. I don't regret the relationship at all. I just regret the pain that was caused by it.
I mean, it also takes I guess Zanab and Cole both have admitted they don't regret the time spent with each other, just the way that it was afterwards and the pain that went down. And sometimes you can see from a mile away things not working out. It definitely was quite tough with Zanab and Cole. Sometimes it's people. I think when it's people, you have to figure out if you can make that change. There's another type of relationships that are like situational, and that's the same thing where you have to look at yourself and be like, can I make these changes? They're important to know because sometimes when you really find someone, you'll be like, this is it. I know I could look around the world and there is no one else. And then you have to make that decision, like, am I gonna chase for it? I was watching this Prince interview and he said, anything worth having is a fight. You're gonna have to fight for it. I don't think anything comes easy. That's why if you see these people madly in love, they'll probably tell you how hard it was because it's an obstacle after obstacle. And the second you have someone give up on you or you give up on them, you're carrying dead weight. And that's sort of unfortunately what it was.
It was such a traumatizing day.
Yeah.
That was it was the grossest thing.
Oh, everyone in sync there. I was like, I should have said yeah.
I am still to this day just confused. Her claim that she thought I was fat shaming her. It's fruit. Like,
That thing has like 30 calories.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is that Cole wants closure from the situation, which I think we all want, which is what we're seeking today. Closure and punitive damages in the form of $6,000 million billion, not Zimbabwe money. He also talks about the cuties scene, which if you go to the Love is Blind reunion, you'll see Zanab said that Cole was sort of like always on her about her weight and like fat shaming her. And then they actually play the scene uncut, and it's not even close to that. Like, it's the complete opposite. In fact, everyone in her comments for weeks had been explaining to her that she was wrong. I'm not sure why this is not getting brought up, but that was a blatant lie that she told. Just because it's your truth, it won't hold up in court.
she's not fat.
Yeah.
I don't think that. You can't win with someone like that. Like, there's no calories in oranges. I don't know what's in oranges, but it's make your body happy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Dr. Cole over here is right. It makes your body happy. The more fruit and veggies you eat. Great synopsis of that. He said something that was kind of poignant before. He said, you can't win with a person like that. I don't know what Zanab's looking for. It's not Cole. It's not Cole. It's someone who's more mature, put together. But there's just certain things that Zanab probably doesn't know how to do, or maybe thinks she deserves, sometimes thinks she expects without actually giving. And I don't necessarily know the amount of people who are willing to live knowing that they're not going to get the equal treatment. So he's not wrong in that assessment with her, but hopefully there is someone who is like, I mean, she deserves love like everyone else. But with her attitude and the way she goes about things, it's gonna be tougher to find.
And now I get to bring it back out in a week because I'm going to see her. Alexa's having a birthday party in a week.
So is everyone at this birthday party?
Yeah, everyone's coming to the birthday
Okay.
party.
Jamal's coming. Who's Jamal? I didn't know, but she invited everyone. So hopefully if I scream Jamal, he'll turn up. Oh, Bartiz is coming there too, so... Yeah, he's gonna be in that show, Perfect Match. Don't know if you guys have watched that yet, but I'm gonna do a deep dive on that. What a absolute shit show.
I have this one side of me that wants to say hurtful things to her, but like the other 80% loves Zay. But then there's like the 20% of me that's like, if you want to go, let's just go.
Sorry, maybe I'm just being emotional, but like after a year, after getting stood up at the altar and also having her say all that stuff, it's rational to have 20% of you want to retaliate. But to still say 80% loves her, not even loved her, I don't know. I don't know how to make these things work. If Cole doesn't work out with Zanab, he's probably going to make someone else really, really happy. Golden Retriever people, very much about giving love. Pretty sure Cole would love to give someone his love. I'm pretty Golden Retriever-y. I love giving love. Not like that. Yeah, very emotional, very needy in terms of hugs and kisses and positive affirmation and stuff like that. And maybe for some people that's too much, but for other people, that's just perfect. I hope Cole finds what he's looking for.
We're missing my boy Cole. Is he invited to the party?
So yeah, that is how that interaction ends. All the boys are having like a guy get together, but Cole isn't there. And I would presume it has a lot to do with Brennan, who absolutely hates Cole. Reason? Because his wife doesn't like Cole. Reason? Because his wife is friends with Zanab. Reason? Because, you know, Mean Girls 2 didn't come out and we need a sequel.
That is so fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
But Bartiz is the only one who seems to like actually care about equality and stuff. So he, at the gathering of the guy convention here, is like, yo, where's Cole? How's he doing? And is he gonna come to the party?
What's the story there?
I've been told there's an invite sending out, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm not a fan. To each their own. Anybody can be friends with whoever they want. I just don't want to be around them.
Yeah, so Brennan just does not like Cole, like I said, because his wife doesn't like Cole. And I would call that being unable to think for yourself and formulate opinions. Just because your wife or significant other thinks a certain way, it doesn't mean you have to share the same opinion. In fact, if you're only sharing the opinion because of your partner, I would go so far as to say maybe try and formulate your own opinions. Like you said, you could be friends whoever you want, and I'm sure if you were friends with Cole, your wife wouldn't have a problem, or she shouldn't. So, just seems lame and childish, but Brennan is a child. So, one day before the actual event, Alexa's birthday party, Zanab's getting her makeover, and she talks a little bit more about like how she feels before meeting Cole for the first time in like almost a year.
Even though inside, I'm full-blown panic attack. I'm gonna have to see Cole. I'm gonna have to look hot AF, LOL.
That's gifable right there. That's the most boomer thing I've ever heard in my life. Hot AF, LOL. Oh, Jesus Christ. Grandma, calm down.
If I leave this party holding hands with this man, it's no longer me. I think what I'm scared of is being yanked back to where I was.
It's, I mean, I guess after if you're going to see someone, it definitely can cause unwanted or feelings that you never know still were there. I don't disagree with what she's saying. I'm sure you would feel quite nerve-wracked to meet an ex or something after that long, especially one you shared such a connection with. In saying that, you don't have to look hot AF. You don't have to have all these weird things as well. It could be just, hey, I know we haven't talked, and let's clear the air.
You've grown so much since then, and I think you see things clearly now, right? And his actions have portrayed his character, so.
100%.
They have, actually. That's exactly why I'm not on his case, because if he ended the show the way he started the show, I would have had zero sympathy for him. I'd be like, that's a douchebag. But if you see a person willingly go through changes and learn and see growth, and you can come out and look at them at the end of a show and be like, well, I can see this person made an effort, then yeah. Their actions speak louder than words, because in a lot of ways, I'm just hearing Zanab's friends talk about how she's grown and seeing none of it. I don't know if you're different, but I can't see the changes.
I think that you're gonna handle yourself well in any situation you're put in with him, and the fact that you even would speak to him says volumes about your character.
Did he murder someone that we have to do this? Like, the fact you would even speak to him is like, you are like the president of all of the country. You're like the president of Pangea. Like, oh my god, you should be on Time magazine for being the best woman forever time. Because you're talking to a guy who you say victimize, who's a bitch, according to you. Those are the types of friends you need. I need to come in 10th place and have my friend be like, you're better than Tiger Woods at golf. And I wasn't even playing golf. That's how good my friends hype me up, to the point that I'm so delusional that when I go out into reality and have to find a partner, all these girls are like, why do you think you're so good? I need my friends to fuck up my life like that. So it's finally party time and everyone is getting invited and coming and turning up and all that stuff. There's roses. There's a half-naked guy who hands out the roses. I don't know what happens when everyone gets there. Does he just like fold into a chair? I'm not sure.
Bring me a gift. How do you like this? Yeah. Nice. It's in my pants. Gift of love. Oh, stick in a box.
I did this in the last video, but Alexa's dad does not like Brennan. He always shits on him. And I have a feeling if he really could and it was legal, he would probably defecate on him. I have no sympathy for Brennan, so I find it funny. Brennan asked, did you bring him a gift? Alexa's dad said, yeah, it's in my pants. And Alexa says, dick in a box, referring to her dad. She talked about her dad's dick. And then he replied, it wouldn't fit in a box. And everyone laughed because incest is just part of that family. How do you think they made it so far? How do you think they made the kids? Wow. That was a scene that I did not need to see.
You guys, what's up, Peace?
Oh, I don't think this vodka is strong enough.
What's up, Brennan?
You want a quesadilla?
Brennan hates him, and you can see Cole being like, sup, Brennan? Hey. Yeah, okay. Jesus Christ, this guy. Wow. Brennan has a stick up his miniature asshole. I can't believe, I just never seen someone hate on someone for no reason other than my wife doesn't like you. Like, it could, you know, even be seen as romantic the way that, like, your partner's like, if you say it, then I think it. But when it comes to hating on a person and it's not even true, that's not romantic, that's just pedantic.
Hey, Alexa.
Hey, how are you?
Birthday.
Thank you.
I brought you wine.
I will not be walking up to him, so if he expects to have conversation with me, he's gonna have to over my way. That
pretty much sums up Zanab and her lack of learning throughout the year. It's taken her a year, and in that time, she's like, if he wants to talk to me, he's gonna have to trot on over here. In 1 year's time, you couldn't think, maybe I owe him a little explanation for what I did at the altar. Maybe what I did might have affected more than just one person, because every relationship is about two people. 1 year of therapy. You should get a refund. You have learned nothing.
Am I anticipating drama? 100%. 100%.
I'm Morgan.
Morgan.
I'm Alexa's mom.
You're empty.
No, you're not.
Why do you look like you're the same age as Alexa?
So Cole might have had a drink, or he might just be himself, but he's mingling and talking to people, and then he meets Alexa's mom, who I thought was her sister this whole time, but that's Alexa's mom, meaning that Alexa's dad has a gold digger for a wife. Because I'm sorry, but I seen that guy's face. It's not looks that are attracting him, and personality's not there either, so I don't know. I was thinking at this point, I was like, oh, Cole, Alexa doesn't like you. You should fuck her mom. That would be, you know? And Brennan hates you. If you fuck her mom and then marry her, you would become Brennan's dad. One way to son a man is to become his father. Right? I'm just saying. That's what I was thinking. I know this is why they will never have me on Love is Blind. I would cause lawsuits.
Really beautiful, and I just thought Alexa's mom would be the same age as my mom. You're way younger than my mom. Sorry. Bye.
Come on, dude. Let's talk to Cole. Let's talk to Cole.
So then Bartiz, like a good friend, is like, hey, let me bring Cole to the side. And then he calls Brennan to the side and says, listen, it's a party. It's a party. Everybody needs to iron things out. And he lets Cole and, what's that guy's name? Bitch-ass Brennan talk.
Because I had to tell, come over here. Let's go over here.
Oh, sorry. He pulls them to the side and then he's like, yo, come over here. Every time people gather around, he moves to a new place for some reason.
I'm trying to connect Cole and Brennan because I want them to squash whatever the hell they have going on.
Happy birthday to your wife. Seriously, congrats. Y'all's married.
Thank you.
I love how Cole talks when he doesn't know what to say because he knows if he says some shit, someone's gonna get hurt. Happy birthday to your wife, I guess. That's how someone talks when they have no idea what is like acceptable to say and what isn't acceptable to say.
But what's up, man?
I'm not someone to get involved in someone else's relationship.
Yeah.
Oh! And yet here you are, doing that exact thing. You're a liar? What the fuck? All right, Brennan. I mean, I'd like to hear your explanation of the bullshit.
I didn't respect the way that things went down. From what I've known, things were negative.
For sure, because your wife is friends with Zay and you deserve to have...
That doesn't matter.
No, but it does, Brennan. See, because you said in the previous line, what I know to be true, and unless you are actually Zanab, you don't know anything to be true. It's called speculation. So you can't just go to a court of law if someone's having a case and be like, I know he's guilty because my wife said it. That would make you, in legal terms, a fucking idiot. Which is what you are. You can't say things like, I know this to be true. Especially if you're talking to the person who was involved. Maybe you should listen to it. See, earlier on Love is Blind, when I first did the video, I think there was a scene between Matt and Cole, where Matt asked Cole what exactly happened, and Cole told him the truth. And then Matt and him ended up hashing things out and becoming friends. Instead of Matt just saying, I know this to be true, he asked the question and got his answer. So that's where you went wrong.
What you've heard.
No, what I know. What I'm referring to is you telling Zay that she's either too fat or she's not your type, or you fucking hitting on other people at different bars.
You know all of that. You know that he called her fat, that she's not her type. Why are you even at the altar? Imagine going to an altar and being like, I would marry you if you were my type, bitch. Fuck off me. I would rather marry your mother. Or she's not my type either. Yo, sister, I'll find someone. Right. And he also knows that Cole's been hitting on other girls because he spies on his phone. Right? Because you know this is factual information from a guy called Brennan.
I mean, I wake up every day and I am intending to be a better man. That's what I think.
Anybody fucking wakes up and tries to be a worse person, right?
There's a couple people, but anyway.
Well, what the fuck have you done to be a bad person?
I didn't do anything to Brennan. He's just pissed off at me because I hurt his wife's best friend. Zay and Alexa are super close.
They couldn't be that close because she didn't even know when Alexa's birthday was, which is kind of the craziest part. If you looked at her when she was getting her hair done in the chair, the person next to her wasn't her friend from childhood. That was another contestant from Love is Blind. Like, a lot of the people that are around Zay are just people that she's met recently. I'm not saying that you can't have awesome friendships, but like, it's pretty telling that Cole's friends are from way back, and it sort of goes to show like his character. Whenever you see someone who has genuine friends who are like ride or dies, you know that they got something going. So I'm just saying, these are little things, nuances that I'm like,
She's rightful to be mad at me because I hurt Zanab, but for him to start saying that I was flirting with other girls and coming at me with a bunch of bullshit is...
A bunch of bullshit.
It's real world accusations that never happen.
I like had such a good, I think, life, but it's so much better like doing it with someone else.
Yeah, but Cole actually doesn't stand up to Brennan, and I don't know if it's because he's at a party or he doesn't want to cause drama, but I don't know if I could sit there and have someone accuse me of doing something I didn't do and absolutely just go after me. I would definitely, I'm a bit too third world to not make someone regret that. That's my line. But Cole's a bigger man than I am, clearly, for just accepting Brennan saying that. It's like listening to a kid try and talk to you. The next scene followed by that is evidence that Brennan is out of his mind stupid, but I'll let you tell it.
And having someone like by my side doing it with, it makes like all the things, I don't know,
100%.
better.
So yeah, Brennan and Alexa are sitting down and she's like, well, I'm really glad I have a partner. And Brennan, instead of saying yes, says he feels bad for single people and then says this crap.
I feel bad for all the single people. Everybody that's single, just like go on Love is Blind.
You ever tried shutting up? Like, it's okay if people are single, maybe they're still finding their person. And if you happen to be broken up in a couple of years, then you too will be single. And maybe you should go back on Love is Blind. Maybe love had to be blind so you could even have a partner. I don't know. I'm just saying, some of the things you say are stupid. Please don't, like, ridicule single people. Everyone's fine.
What's a tip, married lady? Tell us about marriage in the first year. What do we need to do to make that work?
Oh! Finally, almost like at the end of the episode, Cole makes his way over to Zanab's like group of people. Which, by the way, when I was younger, I definitely did this a couple times. Going into a group of girls to talk to one specific one is like the most nerve-wracking thing ever. The amount of judgment and scariness and nerves going through your body. I don't know, it's crazy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello!
Hi, Zay.
Hi.
I wanted to come break the ice and just say, hey, do you want to talk?
So, yeah, Cole makes the move and he says, do you want to talk? Because after 1 year, Zanab couldn't do that for him. I don't know, man. Paul, can you just tell, can you watch this series on Zanab and be like, wow, we have more work to do for you, little lady.
It's hard to win when you're with someone who twists everything you say and you can't be yourself even whenever you're not trying to hurt them.
Important context for what Cole just said. Intent matters more than words. Words do matter because they get you to feel some way, and you should never invalidate someone's feelings. If you say something and a person's like, well, that made me feel like this, it's worth acknowledging. However, also, if you're going to be like, it made me feel like this, you have to acknowledge the fact that a person's intent is different sometimes from their literal use of words. Calling someone stupid and calling a situation stupid are two different things. And if the intent is to get to a better place, then it's probably worth having the conversation knowing that even if the person slips up, you could say, I don't like that you said that. Could you rephrase that? Or something to just assist them in creating the dynamic that'll get you to that place. Because there's a difference between I'm trying to achieve a dialogue and get resolution, and I just want to feel hurt, so I'm just looking for little things that you're going to say so I can feel hurt and then evade this or not actually continue this or put in effort. And that's what Zanab does. I've dealt with that. It's not easy.
Sorry, because I didn't know that I had made you feel that way with the eating and all that. I had no idea.
Okay. That's...
Yep, no, that's great, man. All right, well, so Cole starts off with an apology saying he didn't know that she had felt this way, which again, now, there's two ways you could take that, because as a partner, sometimes you have to be able to understand when a person needs that communication or when they need, hey, this is exactly what I need from you. It's guys and girls we're talking about. Not everyone's going to get the nuances. And Zanab's reply to that was, like she was like Michael Jackson concert. Too much.
I'd rather resolve things with you. One moment of our whole relationship, which was the wedding day, I didn't see it coming.
What did you think I was going to say?
I suppose if he went up to the altar, he probably didn't think that you were going to do that.
Thought you were going to say no, but you had...
And then just no and then walk away?
I mean, no, I can't marry you. And then they walk away, then you have the conversation in private. That would be the humane thing to do, so yeah, I would say so.
Did you listen to any like the positive things I said though?
Yeah, and that's what was so confusing about it.
I don't think it was confusing. Like I literally was like, I remember saying,
I'm gonna plop on someone's face. Cole said, I was confused by the fact you said the good things. And she was like, I don't think it's confusing. Great, that's great. You don't think that. But the person that you said it to does. So how can you possibly make it a little bit easier on the person you're intending it for? This is like saying, I said this somewhere, you took it a personal way. This is your fault. I'm sorry you feel that way. It's got that same energy instead of, oh, I see, this is how you took it. Well, this is what I meant. It is very confusing. It's so confusing when someone says all this amazing stuff about you and a day later says completely different things.
Like, I don't think you're a bad person. Were you bad to me? 1000%. Yes, you were.
1000%. You're gonna just like, it's not even like 50%, yeah, 50% I was bad to you. How are you ever gonna move on, Zanab, if you're constantly playing the victim? In order to be the victor, you can't play the victim. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense to you? You have to level up in order to get someone worth your while. In order to catch someone, the perfect, the soulmate, you gotta be at that level.
I still don't think you're a bad person.
It just sounded like this big contradiction.
I did love you. That's why I was like, this is crazy, because I'm saying all this, but I do, like, not still, did love you.
In confusing fashion, as usual, Cole explains that, like, you know, all the nice things you said followed by manipulative this and that, like, he got confused as to where the line was. But instead of addressing that and being like, oh, I see how you can be confused, this is what I meant, she just steamrolled past it and then had the audacity to say, I did love you. Not the audacity, just the, she like made it a point to be like, I did love you. And Cole definitely, with his friend, said, I do love her. So there's a discrepancy if ever I've seen it.
But I did, I meant it. I didn't like fall for someone that wasn't a good guy, you know?
Okay.
Good?
That is the closure that Zanab's offering. It wasn't at any point in this conversation, it wasn't, I feel like the things that I did were influenced by me being under pressure. I feel like things I would have done differently. I feel like maybe I could have tried doing this. It was just, I'm not the right person for you. You'll find someone better. And you were really bad to me. I mean, if I looked at the relationship from an unbiased standpoint, it feels like at the start, he definitely had a lot to learn. And then from that time on, she had so much to learn and then didn't even want to. So he put in the effort to change, but she didn't. What it's going to do is it's going to make Cole a more open person, someone who's more open to love and being loved. And he will probably find someone who appreciates everything and all of the effort that he put in during this situation to give to someone else. And someone else is going to benefit from that because Zanab doesn't want to. It's not that Cole doesn't want to give it to her, it's that she doesn't want it. And in retrospect, she's going to be so closed off. Every guy that tries to come in and open her up is going to be like shut out and shut down, and she's going to wonder or constantly blame them and victimize herself until she finally realizes, I am actually the problem and I need to open up more and actually be accepting of certain things. It could very well be that they don't fit. That could still be the case even if she's more open, but it would end on different terms if that were the case. It wouldn't end on this weird sour note.
It makes way more sense, like, talking to you now, because, like, when I've crossed the sit, on the one hand, I thought she was about to say yes to me. Beforehand, you were 1000% ready to marry me.
But you were also 1000% bad to her, so that evens out, Cole. Remember, math.
It never made sense to me because in my mind, it was like, okay, she either loves me or she doesn't. It's like one or the other, and what you're saying is like, you loved me.
But I was like, I can't.
Yeah, honestly, Cole, maybe our golden retriever like brains can't process the nuances or the intricacies between I love you, but I also have so many things, because it's pretty, I would say when you find this person, it's pretty simple. I can just say, like, you know, how I would feel is I love you, whatever. Any problem in this earth, get past it. And if I don't, then every problem will get in the way. Those are my two. There's no obstacle big enough, or I don't love you, so I'm not even gonna make an effort. But like for certain people, I guess some girls especially, is I love you, but I don't know if I can go that far. I don't know if this is going to work. There's that discrepancy. Hopefully you find someone who's like, I love you, I'll make it work no matter what.
I thought we were gonna keep dating after.
You really
wedding.
thought that. You have a bad attitude. You get a little loud. Do we remember saying those things?
Yeah, we do remember saying those things, but at the same time, do we remember saying that Cole sung too much or Cole did this too much? Did Cole do all of the same things that he used to?
You just talk a lot of Cole, like either breaking out in song,
dropping some bars.
They're compromises. And maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe this is one of those things where people are just too different. Think about the good times. Do they outweigh the bad? Like, does a person make you laugh? Do they make you think? Do they make you want to be a better you? And then you think about the bad things. What annoys you about them? And if you look at in your life, if you find someone else, are they going to give you the same thing that that person's giving you? I don't know if this was Cole and Zanab. I don't know. It doesn't look like it was. It looks like it was just a rushed 4 weeks or however many months that Love is Blind is filmed and didn't actually go in the direction that it needed to. But I feel like if they put in work, they would have got a lot further than they ever thought.
Fair.
You didn't like me enough to continue dating.
Anyways, I'm not good at like carrying beef with someone. I don't have beef with you, Zay.
I don't have beef with you.
I know.
Just like Tupac and Biggie, if they loved, this is the conversation that would happen.
I don't have beef with you.
I don't have beef with you.
I know. I'm glad that we finally got to talk. So
I've learned so much about myself.
And that is the closure that we'll get. I'm not going to get too personal, but I had a person a while ago really messed with me, and that person came back and apologized, and it was like few sentences for, months of being a trash human being. And for me to say it's trash. So when that happened, I thought, okay, well, person learned their lesson. Come to find out, sometimes you just don't learn. You have to really want to be hurt in order to learn. You have to be vulnerable to be hurt. You have to be in love to risk getting hurt. And it's not a risk, it's not even a possibility, it's inevitable. True love is to get hurt. You just have to find the person who you want to forgive. Some people don't find it. I don't know. It just kind of seems when you can't self-reflect, when you can't be vulnerable, when you can't be fully open, you probably close out love and true love. So I don't know what's happened to me. I feel like ever since Valentine's Day like Cupid shot me in the ass with an arrow. I've been like very much more romanticizing things.
Happy, and I am healed, and I am very ready to be back in the dating world. How do you feel right now? I feel fine.
Well, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that. Thanks.
So Zanab says she's fully healed and she's ready to get back into the dating world. So I don't know how many more victims we got.
Next man in my life is secure, funny. I just want someone to be in my corner. I can't wait until you find your man. The DMs are open.
Oh God, if you have to say the DMs are open twice in one Love is Blind series, you desperate. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, man. Hopefully you do find that person though. I really do. I root for her. I hope that she learns or maybe even finds that person who teaches her the things that she needs to in order to learn. Oh, by the way, so this is like the end of Cole and Zanab. Like, that's their story. There's a lack of closure. I'll summarize it more in the conclusion. Just for anybody who was watching, Raven and SK are also in the series. A couple I didn't talk about. They seem to be doing fine. I don't really know what happened, but he eventually asked her to marry him. And she says, yes! She also makes very, very orgasm sound effects for no reason.
You okay?
I'm not okay.
You are okay.
I know.
I watched that on incognito tabs.
Oh. Yes.
That's how whenever you ask someone to marry, you want them to be like, yeah. But yeah, this is probably a big sum up for what Love is Blind is. Very sorry to Raven, but SK turned out to be cheating. And that's how this whole series ends. Just what a lovely note to end Love is Blind on. Every couple gets messed up, and I think the one couple that's together is Alexa and Brennan. And that's... Oh, no, I think Colleen and Matt are still unfortunately together as well. So give it a couple months, guys.
My world is completely different because SK cheated on me. I know, whatever, it's a blessing in disguise. And like, I know in my heart, I still believe in love, of course.
Yeah, okay, Love is Blind. I still believe in love, but not really right now. That's season 3 of Love is Blind. Basically, everyone on that show is a hot mess, and everybody who learned on that show got hurt in some way. Sorry to Raven, sorry to Cole. Like I said, this episode's been about Cole and Zay. I don't know what it's taught you, but it's taught me that people aren't always the way that they seem. Sometimes people can tell you how they are, and when you meet them, they'll be a certain way and they change. I also know that you are going to make mistakes, and if a person really loves you, they'll forgive you, and not only forgive you, not hold you accountable for it every time. Because if you're in a relationship that's supposedly going to last for however long, you can't be holding on to things in the past. Instead, you got to make room for the future. It's hard in this day and age. So if you find someone who's really worth it, someone who you're going to fight with and know at the end of the day you would never do that with anyone else, someone who you think is worth it every second and have no regrets, hold on to your baby, you know? It's a tough world out there. I don't know. Every time I watch Love is Blind, I get more scared. This show's not supposed to scare me like that. I've watched horror movies that are less scary than this. Take care of yourselves, please. Do that. And don't listen to Brennan. If you're single and stuff, love yourself too. No matter what, things will work out at the end of the day. I promise you that much. All right. Take care. See you. And I guess Perfect Match is up next. All right. Bye-bye.